Hi, everyone. This is Logan Sadler over at Ruggieri Financial. Thank you for joining us for this webinar. We appreciate you guys being a part of this, and we really enjoy doing these for you guys. Again, a little bit about Ruggieri Financial. Our home office is out in Hemet, California, as well as we have another office over there in the Redlands area, our Redlands office. Again, here's our contact information, our email and stuff like that, as well as we're going to tell you a little bit more about Ruggieri Financial right before we jump into this webinar. This webinar is going to be on retirement risk. That may sound like some of you guys are worried about that risk after meeting with a lot of people over the past few weeks. We really have seen that as a rising concern for a lot of people, just because now more than ever, probably there's a lot of unknown going on in today's world. And retirement risk is one of those things that it all incorporates. Everybody's always worried about their money and their financial well-being during this time, understandably. So again, we're going to go over retirement risk as well as retirement options for today's uncertainty. We know there's some different things out there that perform differently and during different times. So it may be a good time to get a review of your portfolio and see if any of these can't fit into what you're looking to do, or kind of eliminate or mitigate through some of your retirement planning fears. Reasons we're all here today, okay? So you need a good team to put the pieces together. We believe in having a solid financial advisor that really brings value to you and your financial situation, as well as having a good tax person. You want to make sure you're having a tax person that's doing right by you and doing the things for you. That's the most efficient things that are going to work better for you and your family, your corporation, your business, however you're setting it up. You want to make sure you're doing things as efficient as possible. As well as you want to make sure you have your legal and stuff like that in order, your living trust, your will. You want to make sure you have that covered. So you really do need that team to put those pieces together. As well as you want to have a good real estate agent, a lender, and all that other stuff that a lot of professionals out there provide. So you want to make sure you have a good team putting the pieces together. If you don't have any of those, we do have referral sources in all different types of those areas to make sure you're covered, because we really do believe when we take on a client, we want to make sure we have good tax people to refer to, as well as good attorneys and stuff like that, to make sure things are all settled for our clients. All right, a little bit about Ruggieri Financial. So Ruggieri Financial, again, we've been in the business over 30 years over here at Ruggieri Financial. We are members of the Better Business Bureau and the National Ethics Bureau. Very proud of that. As well as we specialize in a lot of different types of planning. We are a full service financial firm. So we believe in financial, retirement, and long-term care planning. You need to make sure you have all those things together. We're licensed to do all that and make sure you're in the right position possible, as well as Medi-Cal planning and estate planning. We're not attorneys, but we do work with a group of attorneys that could help make sure you're protected legal-wise, and then we could also make sure we have your assets positioned to the best of our possibilities to make sure you're doing it as efficient and as beneficial as possible. As well as we do asset protection, things of that nature that are more conservative, that their goal is asset protection, like annuities, life insurance products of that sort. As well as we do IRA retirement accounts, group retirement accounts. We also provide portfolio wealth management, as well as we offer a no-fee consultation. So really how we like to work is, if you like this video, or if you have a question about anything I've said in this video, or some of the other ones we've done, give us a call. We don't mind doing it over the phone, or you come into the office or Zoom, and really sitting down and going over that situation and seeing how we can either better your situation or just give you a little bit of peace of mind that you're in the right spot. It's not just me on a computer screen. We do have a full service financial team behind us that specializes in their own topics. We're going to touch on Hugh Ruggieri, our president and CEO of Ruggieri Financial. He has been in the business over 30 years, providing great financial advice and really building out a great service team here at Ruggieri Financial. All of us are very, very service oriented to make sure we're doing the right things for our clients and being there when they need us. Stay tuned to the end of this webinar and learn how to obtain a free complimentary copy of the Essential Retirement Guide. This book is actually pretty awesome. It's not written by us. It's all third-party information, but it really is a great book to where we can kind of read through it and see some of the different things, some of the different topics for some of you people that are interested in financials that doesn't bore you. It's a very, very good book, very good read, and very beneficial to have. We also, again, are offering appointments through Zoom or live appointments, so we are doing in-person appointments as well. So again, stay tuned. We'll tell you how to get that book. Today's concerns, this is what we just wanted to do a little bit about what we hear most common when we meet with the client. Some of the biggest concerns we're hearing a little bit more recently. Leaving a legacy, okay? A lot of people's biggest concern is you want to make sure you're leaving a legacy. You want to make sure you're setting up your kids or your grandkids the way you want to. A lot of people, yeah, they want to make money. They want to do this and that. But a lot of them, their whole goal is they work their whole life to give their kid, to give their grandkids something for them to be proud of. Like they really helps people feel accomplished when they leave behind a legacy. Again, it's not for everybody, but it's just one of the ones we've been hearing a lot lately. So you want to make sure you have a planned approach that's going to conquer the legacy. Some of the things that may get in the way, long-term care. You want to make sure you're covered. You want to make sure you either have good long-term care insurance or make sure your assets are properly positioned to help get you qualified for some different programs. And there's a lot of different things you could do with your assets to kind of plan for long-term care. And that all goes under the umbrella of estate planning. You want to make sure your estate planning is in order. Make sure you got a good living trust done by a good lawyer, and make sure it's all in proper order. Make sure everything's going good. And you want to also make sure you know where all that stuff is. Make sure you know where your return. Make sure you know where your living trust and your investments are. Make sure you're keeping all that stuff in order. Some of the other ones we hear, other than legacy, we hear people want to minimize taxes, right? Is your portfolio designed to minimize your tax situation? Again, you don't want to give any more to Uncle Sam than you need to. You want to pay your fair share and nothing more. But make sure you have that all settled. Make sure your portfolio is doing what you can for you tax-wise. Maximize return. Who here loves a maximized return? I'm pretty sure everybody does. But you want to make sure you're taking the right risk for your risk tolerance level to achieve that maximized return. That's why we have minimized risk. You want to make sure you're setting things up to where you're not just the most aggressive guy possible or girl possible when you're not aggressive. That's not the way to go, because you're going to get a bellyache every time you watch the news and see what the market is doing that day. So you want to make sure you're doing the right thing for your comfort level. Some other concerns we hear a lot is, man, I would just really like some guaranteed income. I don't like my money in all of it in the market and having to take all of it out of the market because get caught up and down and a lot of different up, down, sideways and all that good stuff. You would like something that's guaranteed. So that's something that is plausible. There is some different products out there that offer guaranteed income. Again, recommend you sit with us or an advisor to go over, see if that would be something that could fit in your portfolio. As well, inflation. Who here remembers when milk was $1, right? Things change a lot. You want to make sure you're in the proper thing to achieve your growth and inflation objectives because as we know, gas, milk, cost of goods are going up. So is your $5,000 retirement now going to be the same as it is in 2040? So that's things you want to make sure, can you still live off that $5,000 a month in 2040 or $2,000 a month, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure you're set up to you're avoiding inflationary risk. What are you looking for? What are retirees looking for today? Hope, right? With all the uncertainty going on, we're just looking for something to believe in. Trust. We're looking to work with professionals in their area that we trust, a good advisor that we have confidence in, to make sure that we can trust and are confident what they're doing is the best for me and not the best for them. So you want to make sure you're with somebody that you could have hope in, you trust, and you're confident in. And we really are believers of those three. Retirement planning is about managing risk. Okay, you're going to hear that word risk a lot. Okay, so it's very important because there is a lot of risk going on right now that a lot of people are aware of or unaware of. And you want to make sure your portfolio doesn't get you caught in a bad spot. Make sure your assets are positioned how you need them to be positioned to be avoiding some of your risk. Retirement. Okay, let's talk about some retirement risk. Risk of inflation and taxes eroding retirement savings. See a lot where people taking a lot more. There's a lot of different ways to avoid taxes. So we see sometimes people, I want the most money possible in my income when I retire. Well, yeah, that may be true, but also you want to look at it tax-wise. You want to make sure sometimes taking a little bit less money may net you more. So you want to look at all the different things and make sure you're not just doing whatever come to your head that day. You want to make sure it's a planned approach. Make sure you've went over with a professional advisor as well as a professional tax person to make sure you're doing the best thing for your portfolio. Risk of market downturns, depleted needed assets and income. Can you suffer a 2001? Can you suffer a 2008 in your portfolio? Can you suffer a 2020? These are things that you want to make sure your market money is positioned, your portfolio is positioned to really make sure you're not depleting your assets due to income in a volatile market. Risk of outliving your money. One of the questions, most common question, a lot of people have is, do I have enough money to last the rest of my life? How much money do I need to last the rest of my life? It's a little different for everybody, but it's a very common concern. And that's one thing you want to make sure you're having that covered with your advisor to make sure you're still on track to not run out of money. Risk of long-term care. I'm talking about long-term care a lot because there's a lot of different things you could do. You want to make sure your assets are positioned to where you're not going to run out of money due to long-term care. It can get very expensive. Critical risk for retirees. Longevity risk. Okay, again, do you have enough money to last the rest of your life? Are you going to run out of money down the road? You want to make sure your portfolio is constructed to do 20 to 25 years of retirement or more. That's what the average retirement length is. You're going to retire at age 65 or 60, and your average life expectancy for most of you is 80, 85, 87. So you want to make sure you're structured to last that long. Make sure you don't run the risk of longevity risk. Inflation risk. Again, you want to make sure your money is performing, or if not keeping pace with inflation, hoping to maybe outperform it. Healthcare risk. Are you going to spend all your money on the long-term care or health risk down the road, health issues? You want to make sure you're being constructed to have enough money put away, or a nice long-term care policy, or good health insurance to make sure that you're positioned to not run that risk. Withdrawal risk. We see this a lot. Withdrawal risk. Withdrawal in a down market. When you have a huge downturn, that's not when you want to be taking money out for income. So that's why you want to make sure you're structuring things where you have different buckets, you have different avenues to pull your income from, to where you're not depleting one stash. Again, we really do believe in getting income predictions together, income projections, to make sure you can see kind of the highs and the lows of your income, and make sure that it is as stable as you would like it, as well as excessive withdrawals. And you don't want to be drawn out too much too early, because you don't make that money back. Okay, so you want to make sure you're on the right amount of money. Don't take too much. And also you don't want to be penny pinching in retirement. So you want to find that happy medium with your advisor to make sure you're positioned to not take out too much money, because the odds do show you typically retirees do take more money out in the first few years of retirement, spoiling the grandkids, taking them to ice cream when you pick them up from school and stuff like that, as well as vacations, and eating out a little bit more. Although it is a little harder nowadays to eat out, but we still find ways to spend money, right? Secrets of return. You want to make sure you're not having too many bad years in a row in a certain model or a certain portfolio, because it may be time to kind of look around and do some different things, either with your advisor or with a new advisor. This is one of our favorite charts here. This is really the evolution of financial planning. This is really the chart here as all of us go through, and we should pretty much stick to. It goes through the different phases of life, as well as the different phases of your financial plan. We have accumulation. That's your 20s, 30s, 40s, man. You're swinging for the fence. You're trying to have good returns in your retirement portfolio. You're putting a lot of money away, and you're taking a lot more risk than maybe you should, and you're having fun with it and watching your 401k do what it's supposed to do. Then we have the preservation phase. Okay, so we've been doing this, hopefully earning, and now we have that preservation phase where we're plateauing, meaning we got enough money now, we just kind of want to preserve what we have. It's a very tricky phase. You want to make sure you're doing the right things at that time to make sure you're preserving it as efficient as possible. The next is distribution phase. And again, that preservation phase is typically anywhere from 50 to 65, really, depending on how long you're going to work and stuff. People really start to think about that right around that time. We're not, okay, I have enough money, I don't want to risk it. Now comes the distribution phase where you're taking that money out. You're looking to take an income out of it. That's one of the most critical phases you got to make sure you're planning for, and make sure you planned correctly for, because taking too much money out early on can really, really hurt you. You want to make sure your income is structured to where it can last, again, 20 to 25 years in retirement, because you don't want to be one of those people that come in and I'm out of money. That's just not a good situation. So you got to make sure you're planning for that. Overcoming losses. Who here has lost money and not happy about it, right? There's certain things that come along with different types of risk. What contributes to losses? Inflation, right? Cost of goods going up, taxes, paying Uncle Sam more money than you ever wanted to, and you don't know how to get around it, or you don't know what to do differently to be more tax efficient. Investments that fluctuate with the market. You could have a loss in investment and get out at the wrong time or get in at the wrong time. So you want to make sure you meet with an advisor to kind of mitigate through that risk as well. How does one overcome loss? How do you get over a loss? There's a few different ways to do it. Time. Hold on, hope for the best. Is that the best scenario for you? How much time do I have? How much time do I have to get that loss back? Again, if you are retiring next year and you just suffered a big loss like we had in early 2020 here with about 36% loss in the S&P, is that something you can recover from in that time horizon? If it were to linger on a year or 2 or 3 years, that's something you need to think about and calculate into your plan and make sure your advisor is working with you on that, showing you what the downside risk to your portfolio is. There's all sorts of projections you could run down to make sure you know exactly how your portfolio is constructed to do in the sunny days as well as in the bad days. Can you manage your risk? There is some stuff out there now through annuities, life insurance, and some other managed portfolios that can manage your risk, that can kind of predict the what it's going to do in the down times. Again, we don't have that crystal ball to see when it's going to come, but there is certain things with different ways you can allocate your portfolio to kind of take advantage and limit your risk or manage your risk in those down times. Retirement pitfalls, all right? Retirement mistakes we see happen a lot, okay? Our observation from our office, meeting with thousands of people over the last 30 years, we see a lot of people that have done very well and done everything right. We also see a lot of people that have had a few trips and stumbles across the way, and that's again where we're here to help put them back on their feet and point them in the right direction and guide them along the way. Life happens, okay? Sometimes we need change. You need a good advisor that's going to work with you and be a little bit more accustomed to this phase of your life as you get closer and closer to retirement. Some advisors are better at that growth phase, or a lot better at swinging for the fences and helping you during that. And there's some advisors that are a little bit better at that distribution and that preservation stage of life. So you want to make sure you have the right advisor for what phase you're in and what you're trying to accomplish, and make sure they're doing the right thing for your portfolio at that time. Choosing the wrong strategies to achieve financial longevity. Okay, you want to make sure you're in the right thing. If your objective is growth, you don't want to be in a conservative investment. So you want to make sure you're in the right thing. Yes, you can have the best of both worlds, but you want to make sure you have the right portfolio for your objective. Long-term care, catastrophic illness. We talked about that a lot because it can be a killer later on in life. If you or your husband or your wife get put in a long-term care facility and you're paying $5,000 a month for that long-term care, that'll obviously deplete your money you were going to pass on to your kids there. Your succession plan you were giving to your kids, that money you wanted to leave as a legacy is now being depleted or wiped out due to long-term care. So you want to make sure you're planning for that catastrophic illness with proper life insurance as well as long-term care insurance. Failure to seek better ways to accomplish the goals. We have a lot of people we meet with. One of the first questions we ask is, do you have an advisor? And some say yes, some say no. We'd be surprised how many of them say yes. And then we ask, when's the last time we talked to them? And I haven't talked to them about 10 years, 5 years. And that's not a financial advisor. You want to make sure you meet with someone that is reviewing with you frequently. Make sure that you're as up to date as possible on current rules, investment changes, because we are in a very fast changing world right now. So you want to make sure you're in the right thing for you. Don't be afraid to seek a better advice or a third opinion, or second opinion, sorry. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. We're big believers in that. We want to plan for here and we're going to hope for here. But if we plan for here, there's no surprises. Okay, so you want to make sure you're with an advisor that is realistic. If they're promising you 10% tax-free, no loss, and all that stuff like that, you want to make sure you get that in writing, because it's probably not true. You want to make sure you're doing something you're investing in something you understand, something that you can comprehend, and something that you believe in. Spending too much money early in retirement. Again, we see that a lot where people are spending a little too much too early, and they could really hurt those first few years of retirement, kind of stunt your retirement. Retirement fears. Here's some of our 5 major fears of retirees. Outliving their money. Do I have enough money to last the rest of my life? Control of money. I don't feel like I have enough investment options. I don't feel like I have an advisor that's workable. An advisor stuck in their way, so I don't feel like I have control of my money. Rising inflation. Again, your money today, if you're already retired, isn't buying as much as when you first retired. These are things you want to cover. Leaving a legacy. Am I positioned the right way? Investment mistakes. Again, we all make mistakes in life, but learn from them. Make sure you're now in a position to where your next try is going to be different than your first. Long-term care. Again, you want to make sure you're planning for that. Our goal will be to structure a plan for you that will alleviate your fears and allow you to retire with confidence. You want to make sure you're in something that you believe in. You want to make sure your financial plan covers all your fears. Don't just look the other way and hope the market doesn't come down, or that you don't make enough money, or you're not doing good tax-wise. Plan for it. Have a plan structured to touch on all those risks and make sure your plan is mitigated to maneuver through them, because as we say, there's probably going to happen at some point. You're going to have a market downturn, so don't just close your eyes. Make sure you're planning for that. Again, you don't know when it is, but make sure your plan covers that. Hey, if we have a 10% loss, here's how our portfolio is going to look. Meet with an advisor that is reviewing that with you and being very upfront with you about what's going on in your portfolio and risk versus return. You want to make sure you're not taking too much risk for what you're comfortable with. Not what your advisor's comfortable with, but what you're comfortable with. Warren Buffett has only a few rules, okay? As you guys know, Warren Buffett's done pretty dang well in his career. He has a couple simple rules. Rules of investing. 1, never lose any money. 2, never forget rule number 1, okay? Again, you want to make sure you're in the right thing. People like Mr. Buffett and a lot of the successful people, they're investing in things they understand and things that are very transparent and things that are comprehensible. You don't want to invest in something you don't understand. Make sure it provides a return you're comfortable with and has a risk return that you're comfortable with. You're not taking too much risk. Why a second opinion from Ruggieri Financial? Well, let's talk a little bit about Ruggieri Financial, okay? Again, we offer confidential reviews. We offer live or in-person Zoom appointments, live or Zoom appointments. Why a second opinion from Ruggieri Financial? We offer no fees to go over your financial plan. We want to sit down and go over and build a customized financial plan for you. If you have an advisor, we're not here to talk bad about your advisor or tell you everything he's done wrong. We're here to simply see if we can adjust your plan to make sure it's better fit for you now, your next phase of life. Because again, some advisors are better at different things. We're really good. We have a lot of experience in planning for that next phase in life, that retirement distribution phase. And it's a big one. So you want to make sure you're with somebody that you trust and someone that is experienced in that area to get you through that next phase of life. At Ruggieri Financial, we have over 1,500 clients where we really believe we have done all of them right and are there for them when they need us. And we really feel we have accomplished touching on all their objectives and all their risk in their retirement, and they're comfortable with it. So that's something you guys need to look at when you're looking for an advisor. Again, we have over 30 years of experience. We have very good honest and integrity. We've been around 30 years for a reason, because we treat people right. Don't just sell a product. We believe in building a plan. Okay, we're here for the long run. We really appreciate your guys' time. We're here to serve you on this, and we really appreciate your time watching this webinar. We appreciate your feedback on it, even just an email or call us know if you like the webinar, different things we could add to it. We're always looking to improve here at Ruggieri Financial and to build out a more customized thing for more customized programs for our client base. So we appreciate your time. Next step, if you'd like to schedule a complimentary consultation to obtain your free guide of the Essential Retirement Guide. This magazine is great. It's not written by us. It's a third party. All different information in there. It is not salesy. It simply just goes over some different topics we talked about today, and as well as goes over 401k rules, IRA rules, a lot of different things in there that are very helpful, like Social Security, a lot of different things. Very great book. So again, all your information is confidential. We do not share it with any party. We are local, and we're here to serve you. So if you guys are looking to build out a financial plan or review your current financial plan, Ruggieri is the call you need to make. We're here for you guys. Again, first off, we just hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's working, or if you're retired, we hope you're staying safe. We know it's a pretty crazy world out there right now, but we just appreciate your time watching this video. And if we could answer any questions on this video or other videos we've done, we appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the seminar. And again, hope you guys are staying safe and doing well. Thank you guys. Bye.